Hey folks, Justin from Tackle Tactics. Super stoked to be here talking to you about the ZMan HerculeZ 10 times tough pre-rigged swim bait. So it's a bit of a mouthful, and it's a good mouthful there for the fish as well. But basically what we have here is a 4-inch and a 5-inch 10 times tough ElaZtech swim bait pre-rigged with a nice heavy duty Mustad hook in there. But before we look at these in too much detail, I just wanted to give you a bit of a background on the HerculeZ project and how these guys came to life. So for quite a few years we've been talking about trying to make a ZMan 10 times tough swim bait, and in the last couple of years that project has been underway. So we've been busy with different projects along the way, so it's been shelved a little bit, but in the last couple of years this bait has come to life. So it's basically sort of a project between ZMan US and Tackle Tactics Australia, working to make the perfect swim bait for chasing large predatory species. And this is where we've ended up with the HerculeZ that you see here in front of us. So you can see there, that one there's just a plain white, no eyes or anything. That is actually one of the samples that have come to us along the way. So basically with COVID in place, it's been a bit tricky. We haven't been able to get over to the US for ICAST and all sit down at a table and work on this. So there's been CAD drawings flying back and forward. There's been samples flying back and forward, trimmed and touched up and changed. And this is where we've ended up. An absolute beautiful body profile. Fairly heavy tail shank still, because we've got a brutal tail on here, a really big underkick boot tail. So we've got lots of strength in that tail shank, but we've got loads of tail action in this plastic and plenty of body roll. So the process has been worth it. It's been a lengthy process, and along the way these guys, they started off looking a little bit rougher than that, and they've got nicer and nicer and nicer to this finished product. And there's been plenty of swimming in the pool and refining of this to get it right. So there you go. There's one from before the finished product was born. So we might put him in a cabinet somewhere. In terms of the lure itself, as we said, we've ended up with a 4-inch model and a 5-inch model. And during the R&D process and the testing, and when we got samples of these initially, there's been a stack of species caught on these. So the team have caught a ton of barramundi on them. So we know barra love them, no doubt at all. And that was one of our main species we were looking at with this paddle tail swim bait. So the barra love it, heaps of big barra are being caught, but also mangrove jack, flathead, trevally, mulloway, all sorts of other species as well. Salmon have liked the look of this baitfish because it is a very nice looking baitfish profile. So what makes it tick? Well, ElaZtech, as we know, so that ZMan 10 times tough ElaZtech material. So what that does is it gives us the durability to catch fish after fish after fish, which is fantastic. It's also extremely soft and flexible, and that gives us that body roll and tail action that we want to get out of plastic. It gives us that thump and that roll that draws fish and triggers strikes. It's also naturally buoyant, so that means that the tail is working against the weight of the plastic, and it gives it extra life. It really comes to life in the water because that material is naturally buoyant. So you can see, profile wise, it is a very nice looking baitfish profile, tapers to the belly, tail folds away really well when a fish strikes, and we've also got plenty of hook exposure for large predatory species. Fins for added realism, 3D eyes in there. Eyes are a good strike trigger for that plastic, and that big boot tail that really thumps there. Internal weights on these guys are actually zinc, not lead. And what that zinc, the zinc is harder than lead. So what that means is our internal weight is going to maintain its shape, and the lure is going to maintain its balance and performance. And it also means that where we're built onto the hook, and also the keeper on the bottom here, so we've got a stainless steel attachment point on the bottom here that is built into that zinc weight, so that attachment point is also rock solid. So you might use that to attach a treble or stinger hooks when you want to increase the number of hook points on this lure when you're fishing more open water. And fish like those barramundi, implosion feeders, where they'll suck it in and spit it out again, more hook points often give you more chance of hook set. So you can attach a treble on the bottom or stingers, or you can put a blade on the bottom of there, a spinning blade, if you want to add flash and vibration to this lure. So you've got that thumping tail and a bit of flash on there as well. So attachment point on the bottom, we've got our awesome looking plastic here, 3D eyes on the top to attract fish and trigger strikes, and it's built on a brutally strong Mustad black nickel chemically sharpened hook. So that hook is going to last you well, and it's going to catch you plenty of fish. So in our little fella, 4-inch model, which is going to be perfect around the rivers as estuaries, as well as you know, your barra, impoundment barra and that sort of thing. That guy is built on a 5.0 mustard black nickel chemically sharpened hook, and the 5-inch is built on a 7.0. So mulloway, you know, barra, all that sort of thing, no problem at all on that 7.0 heavy duty hook. So brutally strong hook on those. In terms of weight, the 4-inch model is built on a 3/8 ounce internal weight with a total overall weight of 3/4 ounce casting weight. So 3/8 ounce, total weight of about 22 grams, but 3/8 ounce in that head weight. So plenty of weight to get it out there. But what I like about this is if you fish this rod tip up, you can fish it in quite shallow water, fishing it quickly, looking for those reaction bites, slow it down or drop the rod tip, and you can run that plastic deeper, and then you can hop it on the bottom and fish it with other retrieves if you like as well. Our larger model here, that is built on a 5/8 ounce weight, so that zinc weight inside is 5/8 ounce. Overall, it's about 37 grams or 1.3 ounce, so plenty of weight for throwing big long casts in the impoundments and that sort of thing. And again, rod tip up, you can get it swimming shallower, drop that rod tip or slow your retrieve, you get it running deeper, hop it on the bottom, however you want to retrieve it. Hopping and stalling, you get it swimming on the drop, shaking the tail on the way up, and so it works all the time. Slow roll, you get that body roll and that crazy tail action as well. So great action no matter what retrieve you do with that. Color wise, we've got 8 colors initially to kick the range off. So there's some beautiful clear natural baitfish colors like your shiner, bad shad, and opening night. So very nice clear baitfish colors, bright days, clear water, that sort of thing. Water gets a bit dirtier, we're fishing a bit more overcast. You might want to switch it up to the Mullotron or the Houdini or that classic Gold Rush black and gold color. Also in the range is pearl. Cannot have a paddle tail plastic without a pearl. Very, very popular in all water types. And there's a fluoro color available as well in that sexy mullet for those that like a bit of fluoro in the dirty water, low light, that sort of thing as well. So there you go. That is the ZMan 4-inch and 5-inch Hercules pre-rigged swim bait. Comes in a nice clamshell pack like that. So a good idea with your ZMan plastics to maintain the true shape of the tail and keep them away from other plastics. You can just store them in that clamshell and slot them into your kit if you're wanting to, so that's a great place to just restore them back into there. So there you go, 4-inch, 5-inch, stack of different species caught on those already. We'd love to see you guys getting out and see what you catch on them as well. That is the ZMan HerculeZ Swimbait. Fish on.